12 years. That is how long I knew her. 12 years of phone calls at midnight, of building something from nothing together, of trusting someone with every version of myself, including the version that had everything to lose. I want to tell you what she did with that trust, and I want to tell you what I did next. Her name was Claire. We met in university, both studying business, both broke, both convinced we were going to build something that mattered. By our late 20s, we had a boutique brand consultancy, small but respected, clients who came back, a reputation we had bled for. The first 3 years were hard in the way that good things are hard. Long hours, difficult clients, months where we barely covered costs. But we were equal partners, 50-50, every decision made together, every win celebrated together. I never questioned that, not once. Year 4, things shifted, subtly at first. Claire started taking more client calls alone, started attending meetings I hadn't been told about, started making decisions and telling me after. I told myself it was just efficiency. We were growing. Division of labor made sense. I was wrong. It was not efficiency. It was a strategy. I found out by accident. A letter addressed to the business arrived when Claire was away. I opened it. I had every right to. My name was on the company. What was inside stopped me completely. It was a Companies House amendment notice. Claire had filed to change the ownership structure of the business. Quietly, legally, without telling me. Her share, 70%. Mine, 30%. I put the letter back in the envelope. I put the envelope exactly where I found it. And I went to my desk, and I sat very still for a long time. Not crying, not calling anyone, just thinking. Because here's what I understood in that moment. She had been planning this. This was not a mistake. This was not a misunderstanding. This was a decision she had made, filed, and hidden, and she had done it while sitting across from me every single day. I called a business solicitor that evening. Not a friend, not family, a solicitor. I told her exactly what I had found. She told me 3 things. 1, the filing was legal but challengeable. 2, I needed to document everything. Every client I had personally brought in, every project I had led, every email that showed my contribution. 3, I needed to do this quietly and quickly before Claire realized I knew. For 3 weeks, I documented everything. I pulled every contract I had negotiated, every client email thread where I was the lead, every invoice I had written, every pitch deck I had built. I compiled it into a file so thorough my solicitor called it the most organized case she had seen from a non-lawyer. I took that as a compliment. Meanwhile, I went to work every day, sat across from Claire every day, had lunch with her twice, listened to her talk about the business like everything was normal, like she had not done what she had done. I smiled. I asked questions. I contributed to meetings. I was so calm it frightened me a little. But I had learned something important. The person who moves first loses. I was not moving first. At the end of week 3, I contacted our 5 biggest clients personally, not as a representative of the company, as myself. I introduced my new consultancy, same expertise, better terms. I had registered it the same week I found the letter. 4 of the 5 said yes within 48 hours. The 5th called me back on day 3. I had our revenue base before Claire knew I had moved. On a Monday morning, I arrived before Claire. I placed 3 things on her desk. The original partnership agreement showing 50-50 ownership, a printed copy of her amended filing, and a letter from my solicitor formally contesting the amendment and notifying her that 4 of our 5 anchor clients had moved to my new firm effective immediately. I made coffee. I sat at my desk. I waited. She arrived at 9 a.m. I watched her read. It took 4 minutes. She looked up at me, and I could see her working out how long I had known. How long I had been sitting across from her, smiling, asking about her weekend, while knowing exactly what she had done. I said nothing. I let her sit in that silence for a long time. She tried to explain, then she tried to apologize, then she tried to negotiate. I let her finish all 3. Then I said, "I don't need anything from you. My solicitor will be in touch about the dissolution." And I picked up my bag and my laptop, and I walked out of that office for the last time. The legal process took 4 months. The amendment was successfully contested. The original 50-50 structure was upheld and then dissolved because I no longer wanted any part of something built on that foundation. I walked away with my client relationships, my reputation, and my name completely intact. She kept the office lease and the company debt. My new consultancy turned over more in its first year than the old one did in its third. The clients who came with me are still with me. And Claire, I heard through someone mutual that she closed the company 8 months after I left. I did not feel satisfaction when I heard that. I felt nothing at all. And that, I think, was the most complete ending possible. People ask me if I miss her, if I miss 12 years of friendship. Honestly, I miss who I thought she was. I do not miss who she turned out to be. Those are 2 completely different people, and only one of them was ever real. Drop a comment below. Have you ever been betrayed by someone you completely built something with? I read every single one.